Zenkaikon 2015, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Zenkaikon was a multi-genre convention held from March 27 through 29, 2015 at the Lancaster County Convention Center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I have a conflict of interest notification. I was part of a group that had featured panelist status at the con. This is my own personal video and represents my own personal views of what I experienced. For the good, registration was again bulletproof this year. They do a really good job with reg at this convention. They get you in, they get you out. The lines are usually not very long, but they have it down to a science, and it's just really, really good. The hotel and the area around it is quite good, too. The hotel is not the largest one, but it really does a good job accommodating the attendees. We had few problems. The area is great, too. The Central Market is almost right across the street. There's plenty of places to eat, and the Rite Aid is right down the street, so if you need con supplies you might have forgot, you can easily get them. The guest list was quite strong this year. Rob and Doug Walker were quite interesting. I got to see a few of their panels. Riki Simmons and Richard Horvitz seemed to really put people in seats. Trina Nishimura, Matthew Mercer, and Lauren Lambda seemed to really attract people also, as they're all in Attack on Titan. And let's not forget about Uncle Yo. Who could forget about Uncle Yo? The dealer's room in Artist Alley were again good. There's a lot of room to move around. They have a lot of artists, a lot of dealers. It's a pretty solid dealer's room for a con its size. The Sunday crowd very much impressed me. I was surprised there was a lot of people there Sunday, because sometimes at some cons, people disappear and go home. Not at this con. They stayed. In fact, I'd say more people showed up on Sunday. It was nice to see that many people, and a lot of cosplay was still going on. The charity auction was a pleasant surprise. It was very well done. They had a lot of items to bid on. You don't like to say it, but sometimes at cons, the charity auctions are not that interesting. They had good items to bid on. Uncle Yo was the announcer. Rob and Doug Walker were the runners. And it made it just fun and interesting, and I'm sure it helped raise the prices up on some items. And I hope they bring it back next year, just because it was really, really well run. When I mean bad is just like something that's so terrible at the con that you have to mention it. There was nothing truly bad at Zenkaikon this year. Everything was okay. And now for the ugly, what should have been better. Sketch.org should have been better. Guidebook has unfortunately priced itself out of a lot of mid-sized conventions. It is smart and easy to use, which Sketch.org is not. I found it unwieldy, and frankly, it caused an odd browser experience in my Android phone. I also did not like the fact you had to reg for it, and out of most of my friends that experienced using Sketch.org, no one was impressed. It's simply what the con had to use. This is the second time I've used Sketch.org. At Anime USA, it was a complete disaster due to cell phone coverage issues. Thankfully for Zenkaikon, it was not, but it's just not ready for prime time yet. Before I start the panel technology issues, we have to say that staff was excellent. They were helping out as much as they could, but there were pre-existing issues in the room. During later panels, they even went out of their way to make sure that we had less problems, and I really appreciate all their help. The problem is, Live 3, this is the second year in a row I've seen issues in there. We got in there and we had a laptop with a codec issue. So I switched to a backup one. The projector would not recognize the VGA hookup. The 3.5mm jack was also broken. It was causing interference. And the microphones were in and out at times. There were issues there. The staff did fix it after the panel. We were in another panel room that we also lost mics. It seems like the loss of mics are an issue that needs to be looked into further. Elevator con. This is the second con in a year I've seen a problem with a hotel with only 3 elevators in their bank. Unfortunately, something happened to the one. I care not to speculate. I heard rumors that the door was forced. I'm not going to spread those rumors, but it was down to 2 elevators in the hotel wing. It made getting out on Sunday hell. It wasn't good, and it's kind of to the point that if there's a rush out of a large event, such as the Masquerade, it seems like either the hotel or the con staff are going to have people on the elevators controlling them, or the hotel staff is going to have to get in there with potentially any override keys they have and take control of the situation, controlling what floors the elevators can stop on. Band quality is an issue that's kind of been brewing for about 2 years. In 2013, they had Ian Strife and the Slants. Both bands did superb jobs. Last year, they had the Extraordinary Contraptions and Lolita Dark. They were easily forgettable, especially the Extraordinary Contraptions. Went in there for a few minutes, they weren't good. Now, the rice cookers this year, unfortunately, kinda weren't the best. It was hard to hear what they were singing about. And it's a very subjective section here, but I'd like to see the con up its band quality. It's nice to have a band, but there comes a point when you have to be like, are they worth seeing? In the last few years, I can't say they were. The final ugly portion, I'd say at closing ceremonies, they could have skipped or cut up the AMVs. I think a lot of us were there mostly to listen to any complaints that came in and get the attendance figures and go home. This con is making a tradition of showing the AMVs, and I'm not sure I like that. Because honestly, we had people in our own group kind of walk out because it was just taking so long. Overall, Zenkaikon is one of my favorite conventions, as year after year it proves itself again and again. The convention showed increased attendance and stability and quality this year. Attendance was over 4,800 unique, 5,400 warm bodies, and the quality was still there. Convention is evolving into one that you have to plan a year ahead for, and maybe that's its worst point. I know hotels are starting to be an issue. Zenkaikon is filling the hotel. It is still one of the better cons that people don't know about, but that's starting to change. This year, I definitely saw the most people I knew at this con, which was really, really good. I'm going to give the con a B. I liked it. Nothing caused it to go up or down in any way. It was still really, really good, and again, I look forward to returning next year. Thanks for watching.